He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another story time. Hey, Ange fam, welcome to You Don't Ever Let Them See You Cry. So, everybody got a Cubicle Nation story. To me, Cubicle Nation, meaning working in corporate offices, reminds me of adult high school. You have a group that's the popular crew. You have a group that's the mean girls. You have a group that just talk about each other. And then you also have a group that you wasn't popular in high school, but now you know you're the smartest one, or you're the boss, you're the CEO, you're the president, you're the vice president, or whatever. So now you're going to evoke your power to feel powerful and to try to recruit from how you felt in high school. So it's like, I'm gonna treat you how people treated me in high school, even though I didn't even know you in high school, but I'm gonna treat you because now I feel powerful because you know I'm the boss. That's what Cubicle Nation corporate offices remind me of. I've worked in enough corporate offices, I work with enough women, and it's not just the women, it's men too, that are messy, that has unresolved high school issues, that come in and feel like you should be doing XYZ, or you should have power, you should have, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just a whole lot of that unnecessary stuff that don't need to go on, because at this point in time you're adults. You're adults. You shouldn't be pondering on or have any old fester wounds from high school. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, so in this office I've been working for quite a little time now. We done been through the pandemic. Matter of fact, we are actually in the pandemic. I think we have crossed over the little hill though, and we are on the other side where people are kind of getting kind of comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not still a lot of people in the office. They're not bringing everybody back to the office, because at this point in time, production is better with people at home. So no need to bring people in, which makes sense. Work smarter, not harder. If your people are more happy and they're producing more at home, why would you bring them back into the office? That doesn't make sense. That's not smart at all. It's not smart at all, because a lot of people don't want to be in traffic and they don't want to come into the office, because again, it's adult high school. Anyway, so at this point in time, there's not a lot of people in the office because we're going through like the pandemic situation. But you know that saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So there's a group of college students who are able to come into the office and work and get paid more than us to do the same thing that we're doing. Yeah. But anybody who's working in the office, you know, when the boss's daughter come home from college, when somebody else daughter know of this other person's daughter, my neighbor daughter home from college, she need a little summer job, is not what you know, it's who you know. And nepotism, hookups, and all that stuff is very much prevalent, and you are going to be on the bottom of the barrel. It does not matter. If the boss's daughter needs a job, the boss's daughter is going to get a job, and she's going to get more paid than you. Point blank, period. So anyway, there's a group of college kids that are coming in to the job, right? And with the group of college kids, I ain't really gonna give them a name. Yeah, I ain't really gonna give them a name. It was literally like, it started off with four of them, and then it kind of dwindled down to three. The fourth one, cause out of them, I'm gonna call them the blondes and a brunette. Out of the fourth of them, out of four of them, the brunette was the one who was literally not taking anything seriously at all. But most of the time, I stayed to myself because I was always in trouble for doing just that anyway. Staying to myself and minding my business. Anyway, there's an old lady in this story, and we're going to call her Aunt Esther. Now, Aunt Esther, when she first came in, honey, she was willing to learn, and her goal was, I'm only here for a certain amount of time, and I'm not gonna say what she said because that would give it away. But she was only here for a certain amount of time, and she wasn't gonna be long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just here for the in between. Well, lo and behold, they end up asking her to come on permanently, and she accepted. So all this time, when you've been walking around in your probation period saying that, I'm only here for a certain amount of time, has now gone away because you're here full time now. And the only time, I'm only here for a limited time, has now ceased. We don't hear that anymore. Thank God. Anyway, I also noticed that there somehow seems to be an intimidation type situation that I give off with not talking to people. That seems to bother people. Isn't that interesting how not bothering people and minding your business bothers people? So interesting to me. Anyway, that me minding my business, coming in, because baby, at this point in time, I'm coming in early morning. I have paid my dues. I have been here longer than you, love. I have paid my dues. I have worked my butt off. And the reason why I have the privileges that I have is because I do my work and I work my butt off. That is the only reason I have the privileges that I have. It's because I come to work, do my job, and do my job well, and go home. Which is because I have that privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to put in my dues just like anybody else. Nothing was given to me. There's no favorites being played. I had to earn it. But you, Aunt Esther, seems to think because you are older than everybody in here, or maybe you think you older than everybody in here, but I'm pretty sure you are, but not that much. So you think because you're older than everybody in here that you should walk in and get the same privileges as people who have been here before you. No, love, it's called seniority. And just because you are a senior don't mean you have that. I'm just saying. Anyway, so new girl comes in. We're not talking about the blondes right now. New girl comes in. And new girl, we're gonna name her. What did I say I was gonna name that girl? Naina. We're gonna name her Naina. So Naina comes in, and I can tell Naina is a little eccentric, but I also realized that Naina is part of the LGBTQIA community. Naina is very bold with it. And I ain't mad at you, girl. My girl, do your thing. But I can tell, right? So Aunt Esther is having a clash with the blondes and the brunettes because Aunt Esther was supposed to be the one training the blondes and the brunettes. Now, mind you, one of the blondes has a professional career outside of this summer gig right now. She has a professional career, so she is a little older than two of the blondes. The brunette, literally airhead. You really don't care. You come for money. You don't even know why you here. You're not really taking it seriously. It's just like, I'm just here. I'm on my phone, and regardless of me being on my phone, I'm still gonna get a check. That's the attitude that you had. So Aunt Esther was a little upset with the simple fact that the blondes and the brunette came in and was getting paid more than her and not doing anything. Mind you, I know the game. So it don't matter what you say, it don't matter what you do, it don't matter how much you complain or whatever. Like, sweetie, that's not gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. So no matter how much you boast, holler, how much you say whatever you need to say, how much you go on and on and on, or even make your little remarks in your comments, nothing's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. So during the week, the blondes and the brunettes barely do anything. So at this point in time, Aunt Esther has had enough. She's had enough. And you make a complaint because boss comes in and boss is asking like, hey, are you girls, how are you faring well? Like, Are you being taught? You have any questions? Is anybody being friendly? Like you having any trouble? And so she was like, Aunt Esther tell you anything? Because when the girls came in, I was told like, hey, Aunt Esther's supposed to tell y'all what to do and what job y'all supposed to be having going on. So Aunt Esther was coming in before them and putting things on their desk for them to do. Far as I know, boss was giving her instructions to give to the blondes and the brunette. Far as I know. So Esther, it had been, I would say, like 2 weeks, and boss had came in and boss was, asking questions, and Esther says out of the blue, they don't do nothing. They sit there and be on their phone all day. They don't do nothing. And the fact that they get paid more than me is crazy. Now, mind you, at this point in time, we are able to have headphones, which have one ear out because I answer the door. And when the doorbell rings, I answer the door. FedEx, guests, people coming in for meetings, I'm the one who goes to the door to talk to people. So, the mailman, etc., etc. Should I tell that story? Yeah. So it was like I'm able to hear still what's going on, but play like I'm not paying attention. So anytime that people was passing by and they was talking about other people and they was talking about each other, especially when it was like big time people who was above me, who was coming in and you was talking about people and other people up in here and talking about people in here and talking about people in other offices and talking about people in other departments, I heard it. So why would I want to be around you when I hear you talking about other people? Right. So anyway, so like I heard Aunt Esther say this, and I'm like, oh girl, because I already know, like, girl, that's not gonna change anything. So you making a statement, you only making a fool out of yourself because there's a certain way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have went in boss office and say, hey, can I ask you a question or let me talk to you? Something like that on that nature. But the way that you did that is like, girl, no. Now we know you jealous. And now they about to laugh in your face is what they did. They laughed in your face. They laughed in your face because regardless of how you feel, girl, they still was gonna get paid what they was getting paid and they still was gonna have a job. So yeah, anyway, Naina comes in, I would say maybe like a week after the blondes and the brunette. Naina comes in, she's a new girl after them. And so Naina, of course, like anybody at this point in time, anybody who comes in, like they don't automatically get a key fob to the door. So I have to get up and open the door. Well, this one particular morning, Naina had been working for maybe like a week or so, and the blondes and the brunettes were coming in. They were all coming together, and so Naina, when she walked through the door, Naina was like, "That was racist. That was racist. You saw me. You saw me. I was saying, please leave the door open. You saw me. You saw me." So the blondes are looking like the brunette. So I was like, so you closed the door on Naina. Naina is African American. You closed the door on Naina, even though Naina was saying, hey, can you hold the door? Because as I stated, I have to get up and open the door. Now, mind you, I could tell and I knew who the troublemaker was because even with me opening the door for the blondes and the brunette was making jokes behind my back when I opened the door for them one particular time. Now, mind you, I can turn around and I can address you. But first of all, you're a child. Two, I know you have no respect for this anyway. And three, that's not going to change anything. You're still going to get paid. You're still going to have a job, regardless of how I feel about the situation. What would be the point? You're an idiot. So there's no need for me to address you anyway. You got to pick and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people are looking for a reaction. They want you to react. So they do certain things. And the way to get to them is to ignore them. So Naina is going off, and so boss comes out because you're loud. So boss is like, Naina, can you come in the office? So she calls Naina in the office to close the door. So Aunt Esther was like, I can guarantee, I can guarantee you heard that girl, and you didn't open the door. You just nasty, just young is just nasty. You young people just nasty. So Naina comes out of the office, and she has tears running down her face. And so she was like, just racist, just racist. And so when she says that and she's passing the blondes, the brunette is laughing, but the blonde that has a job, has a career outside of this, stands up. It was like, and so Naina says, so the blonde sits down, and I'm like, this is too much. Too much. Too much. So anyway, Aunt Esther, I can tell you messy. So at this point in time, a new girl comes in. And do I really want to give her name? No, I'm going to call her new girl. She's not the blonde, the brunette. She's new girl. She just going to be new girl. New girl comes in. And so with you coming in, you, Aunt Esther, of course, you're teaching the new girl what to do. You're also teaching and telling Naina what to do. As far as I know, boss is related to Aunt Esther. Aunt Esther is supposed to relay to everybody else what to do. Now, mind you, unaware to boss, unbeknownst to her, Aunt Esther is taking a little bit of power that boss is giving her as far as passing on instructions. You're not giving out instructions. You're passing on instructions. You've taken that to your head like you giving out commands, right? So now the blondes and the brunettes are uncomfortable with you, and they make that very known, right? They make that very known. So with them making that known, they're not talking to boss. They talking to their people who got them the job. Now remember I told you, we don't automatically get a key fob because you have to wait a while. And if I'm not mistaken, you have to go through your probationary period at least a month before you get your key fob. Like you have to be let in because there's no guarantee you're going to make it through your probationary period, right? Well, lo and behold, here come the blondes and brunettes with a key fob. And they get a key fob in front of everybody with an apology about the door incident and how it would never happen again. And they are so sorry that you even had to endure that. But hold on. The brunette was the one who closed the door on Naina. Why they getting an apology? So Aunt Esther is livid. And at this point in time, baby, I can't even blame you because it's like, because why they getting an apology and why they getting a key fob? We all had to earn our key fob. They getting a key fob? So with an apology, Naina didn't get an apology. Naina was, what's the word? Chastised? Reprimanded because of how she handled the situation. And not by boss, by someone else. So Naina at this point in time is feeling low and she's like, okay, I thought this was going to be the place for me where I would be comfortable and where I'll be able to work, but I don't think I'm going to enjoy working here. So Naina now is coming in and she's quiet. But every once in a while she would come to my desk and she was like, you mind your business. You stay to yourself. Like I noticed like they don't bother you. Yeah. Yeah. I said, no, don't get it twisted. They go to my boss and they say, she's hard to approach. I don't know how to take her. Oh, she looks so mean. Good. Keep that energy. Because if I'm not talking to you, 9 times out of 10, I've already saw something that you did and I don't want no parts. No parts. No parts. So Aunt Esther, there's the new girl. Remember I told you about the new girl? New girl came in. So Aunt Esther now, you was cool with me at one point, but then when you realize that I'm coming in early in the morning, you want to come in early in the morning, and you feel like now, because like I said, that little bit of power that you have, assume that you have, because you really don't have no power. All you doing is giving instructions, passing down instructions that you're supposed to be giving. You not handing out task. You're passing on instructions, but now you got a little bit of power. You feel like you got a little bit of power. You feel like you should be coming in early, like I come in early. You feel like you should have a key, like I have a key. You feel like you should be top tier, even though I don't feel like I'm top tier. I just be minding my business because I make sure I do what I need to do and I bust my behind to keep the privilege that I have. So you don't know what's on my plate. What's on my plate you may be allergic to. What's on my plate may kill you. All you know is you want to come in early when I come in early. So now you over there chit chattering to the new girl about me. And when I tell you, like, I'm going one of God's favorite. Whether you believe it or not, that's your business. I am. I'm one of God's favorite. And he don't play about me. One way or another. He don't play about me. He don't. He don't. So, love, when I tell you the little things, so you over there talking to the new girl and telling the new girl who has no idea, not Naina, it's another new girl. You telling her, what I'm saying, like you talking ish about me. You saying whatever, you talking ish about me. Even down to the way that I'm ordering lunch, honey. You talking mess. And once you started talking mess because I can hear you. Even once I ordered, it's like, oh my God, you see what she ordered? Like you just talking so much mess. You just sowing all this discord like an old lady do. An old miserable lady. You are doing what an old miserable lady do. You sowing this discord, you talking to the new girl. And this one particular time, like, what I'm saying, we ordering lunch and everybody lunch shows up except yours. And this was the specific time that you was talking ish about me. And it was so funny that the new girl was laughing. And after that, the new girl came up to me and said, girl, she talk about you all the time. You stay in her mouth. I said, really? She said, but you don't even seem like you that type of person. You don't even say nothing. You mind your business. Exactly. So lo and behold, Naina comes in, and remember I told y'all Naina was boast. She was boastful and very proud of who she was. She's very proud of the LGBTQIA community. She is who she is. Who she is. She was all female, but she was, basically lesbian bi. I'm assuming, because I didn't ask, but I knew she was part of the LGBTQIA because everything was rainbow. Even down to her Uggs, honey. Rainbow, 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 rainbow. She stayed in a certain part of town that was very particular for the LGBTQIA community. And she talked about it on go. And then she was like, girl, you should come out. You should hang out. Naina, you may be cool to come out of the bag with me, but baby, I take it as a compliment that I'm able to pull male and female. But baby, I am strictly I ain't got time, baby. Ain't nothing you can do for me. Nothing you can do for me. I'm not even gonna play with you. I'm not even gonna play with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even gonna play with you like that. And so she was like, oh, okay. She was like, well, I was just letting you know you was pretty or whatever. Cause she had kind of made a, like a little insinuation, like a little pass to me because at this point in time, like I hadn't pulled my tooth yet and it was the infection and the infection had started seeping, like it was really, really bad. And I had like this huge black spot on my neck. And it wasn't a hickey, it was literally from the infection, like just being absolutely horrible and started seeping through and my stuff was swollen or whatever. And so she was like, what's this big spot on your neck? And so when she said it, she had got real close to my ear and was like, what's that big spot on your neck? Girl, if you don't get out my personal space, which is how I knew, you know what I'm saying? It confirmed to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know I'm a cute girl or whatever. I know I'm a curvy girl. So it's like, yeah, girl. She was like, oh, okay, because I thought maybe, somebody had got a hold of you. Somebody got a hold of your neck. Now that has happened before, but no, I wasn't tagged this time. This was literally a dental issue. It literally was a dental issue. And so we was, explaining or discussing that. And so she was like, have you had any run-ins with Aunt Esther? Like, has Aunt Esther been like just mean to you? Just mean to you? And I was like, girl, what you talking about? What you talking about? She was like, I'm just saying, like, she'll tell us, or like boss will send us the email and tell us to do one thing, and she'll come in and act like she don't have to do it, or boss will tell us to do one thing and she'll come in and tell us to do something else, or boss will tell us like we all have to do it and she'll do something completely different. And I was like, did you talk to boss about it? So she was like, no, like I just, she was like, after the door thing, like, she was me being reprimanded for that. Like, I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. I was like, oh, okay. And so that same day, she had came over to my section, and over in my section, like, there was nobody over there because at this point in time, it's the pandemic and everybody is spread out. So the section that I was in, I'm over there by myself. Loved it. And it seems to become an issue about the light, even though I had permission about the light. I had permission to keep the light off, and it came a whole issue about the light. Crazy to me that the light became an issue, even though I had permission to have the light off. Here comes other people with, oh my God, it's unprofessional that the light is off, even though the light is motion sensor. And with me not moving and being the only person over there, the light would automatically go off. And so if somebody walks, the lights were brighter than all the other lights in the building, and it would hurt my eyes. So I asked permission from two bosses. Can I keep the light off? And they both agreed. But here comes somebody else who's never here, and all of a sudden peeks in, and it's an issue about the motherfucking light. Crazy. Even a whole little discussion, because I can pay attention and then I can hear you. Even had the little president turn on the light. And when I turned on the light and did like this, he was like, oh. Well, if the light was off and you turned it on and you blind me, you think I'm not gonna wince and close my eyes? Anyway. So she came over to my section and she was like, can I sit over here with you? And I was like, listen, I keep the light off. If you got an issue with the light being off, I suggest you go sit in the lighted areas, because that also became a thing. Everywhere else is lit. Everywhere else is lit. Desks everywhere. Space everywhere. And they would come sit in the dark and want to turn on the light. To the point where another coworker noticed it and was like, I do not understand. Oh, I do. Racist. I do. Because this little black girl over here, and why she's sitting in the dark? Light. Even though I had permission. And I was like, listen, if you don't want to sit in the dark, listen, I ain't got time. She's like, oh no, it's cool. I just want to sit in the back. And I'll sit in the back. I'll just sit in the back and do my work, which is what she did. She went way in the back and was doing her work. And every once in a while, I'll hear this. Not like, you crying? Are you crying? So the next day, you come in and you sit in the same area. You sit back there. You don't say nothing. You sit back there. You do your work. Every once in a while, you come up to me and you will say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll laugh, we'll joke or whatever. Nothing big, nothing major. So she came up to me. She was like, girl, I'm out of here. And I was like, you out of here? She was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I got a job in my field. I'm out of here. She's like, I really thought like, I was going to be cool and I was going to be comfortable with this. She was like, but the racism with the door, the back and forth with Aunt Esther, I can't deal with it. I don't want to be in no place. unprofessional. I want to be in no place where I'm not comfortable. And I totally agree with that. So this is one particular, like, at this point in time, every day, like, we're getting lunch every day. So at this point in time, everybody is deciding like what they want for lunch. Like, it's like, yeah, it's a scramble. Everybody want, the blondes and the brunette, they wanted Chipotle. Aunt Esther, she wanted Chili's. Naina wanted something else. It was a New Orleans restaurant. I don't care. I don't. It's free. Whatever y'all decide, I don't care. And then that was the thing. One of the bosses was cool with being accommodating and would order from all different places. And the other boss is like, make one decision. Order from one place only. I don't care. Well, on the whole, everybody picks, majority, I won't say everybody, but majority picks Chipotle. So Chipotle wins out of Chili's and out of the New Orleans place. So Naina is, Naina was like standing by the table, and so she was like, girl, Aunt Esther is upset because I didn't choose Chili's with her. I was like, even if you did, she still was gonna be outvoted with Chipotle because the blondes and the brunettes wanted Chipotle, and I'm cool with Chipotle. And then there's other coworkers that wanted Chipotle. They did not want Chili's, and they did not want the New Orleans place. I was like, so regardless, even if you did, she still would have been outvoted. And so she was like, yeah, but she's giving me all this flack. Like, she's talking to me in all kind of way. And so at this point in time, Naina is standing at the table and she starts crying. Girl, are you crying? I ain't even, at this point in time, Naina is tall. Naina is like 5'9", 6 even. I'm 4'11". But I get in front of Naina and I said, girl, I need you to look at me. You don't ever let them see you cry. You don't ever let them see you, they breaking you down. Get your together. Get it together. I said, go in the bathroom, wipe your face, get it together. So you right. And at this point in time, it's everything in here, which I get it. Everybody don't have tough skin. Everybody not used to BS when it comes down to corporate. Everybody not used to racism. When that stuff hits you in the face, it is a shocker. But when you used to it, baby, I'm used to it. I'm from the deep South, deep country. Used to it. That's why I can recognize it. And I can recognize when you're trying to get a reaction out of me, which is why I ignore you. I can recognize when you have an obsession. I can recognize when you're trying to do any and everything to break me. And I'm looking at you laughing because you can't break me. I intimidate you. Because if I didn't, you wouldn't even care about what I got going on. You wouldn't care. So anyway, she goes into the bathroom. She cleans her face. She comes back out. She goes to her desk. I go to my desk. A little time later, she comes and she was like, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for, talking to me, being nice to me the whole time like I'm in here, because this office is absolute trash. It is horrible. I have never had an experience like this. And I was like, girl, I understand. It ain't for everybody. Corporate ain't for everybody. Healthcare ain't for everybody. Fast food ain't for everybody. Fast food is definitely not for me. I don't know how in the hell y'all deal with fast food, but fast food is definitely not for me. I commend y'all. CNA is not for everybody. I commend them too. Because, baby, I knew my first day on the critical floor. Oh, no, baby, this is not for me. This is not my calling. This is not what God sent me as a purpose. And I ain't downing them. I hold them up to the highest respect because everybody can't do that job. Everybody cannot do that job. I don't even think they get paid enough, to be totally honest. So anyway, the next day, Naina didn't show up. Naina was like, out of here. So Naina, the bosses are coming around saying Naina no longer works here. Naina no longer works here. Who? Naina. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't understand what was the going around to say Naina no longer works here. I guess to not open the door for her, I guess, was the thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So Aunt Esther's over there. I knew she wasn't gonna last. I knew she wasn't gonna last. This job, it takes tough skin. So the blondes and the brunettes, well, the blondes, because the brunette is no longer showing up at this point. She, as I stated, she come for money. I don't even need to be here. That was literally, I think, was trying to give her tough love, and yeah, they failed because she was here for a good 2 weeks, created ruckus, and what didn't show up no more. So the blondes was still here, but one of the blondes, the one who had the career blonde, she would come and she would talk, and she started asking questions, and so she was like, "Oh, you're nice," and I was like, Yeah." She was like, "But they said, yeah." I said, "Because I keep to myself." And I was like, "I'm too old for the craziness and the shenanigans," and I was like, "And I can pick up on things that they do. So if I watch you and you stabbing somebody else in the back, why would I be cool with you?" She was like, "That makes sense." Exactly. Exactly. So she was like, "Well, if I have any questions, can I come ask you?" I said, "Sure." So she was like, "Oh, okay." And so she went back to her desk. Summer's over, the blondes leave, and it's just Aunt Esther. But there's the new girl that was there who was like, she talk about you all the time. She keep your name in her mouth, left too. So here comes another new girl, but we gonna call her new hire. Here comes new hire. So new hire come in, you doing the same thing, same scenario, but I'm the target because Naina's no longer here. The blondes are no longer here. New girl gone, new hire here. So I'm the target. So you're telling new hire any and everything what to do to try to undermine me of how you gonna come in early. This is what you do when you come in. This is how you start. This is how you get stuff together. This is what you do. If you listen to me, you'll go far in this company. Mind you, you came after me. But I mean, do your big one. Do your big one, Aunt Esther. Do your big one. And so you telling new hire all this stuff. Well, lo and behold, new hire took all the information that you was putting down, wrote it down, took it in her little pocket, ate it, and after she ate it, she regurgitated and snaked you. Snaked you. So everything that you was plotting and planning to try to do to me, new hire did to you. Gotcha, bitch. Baby, she was livid. Mad at the world. Now you can't stand new hire. You can't stand new hire, baby. You can't stand the sight of new hire. You can't stand what she look like. You can't stand the earth that she walk on. You can't stand to see that girl breathe. Because she did exactly what you was trying to do to me. And when I told y'all I'm one of God's favorites and he don't play about me. Then it's not about what you do, what people can see. It's about what you think people not seeing, what you think people not watching, what you think people not oblivious to. That stuff that you be saying under your breath and behind my back. And when you think I don't know, or even if I don't know, the things that are being heard when I ain't in the room. And you try to figure out, well, dang, how she always fall on her feet? How she always staying protected? How it always work out for her? I keep my karma plate clean. And that is the story time of you don't ever let them see you cry. And Aunt Esther got exactly what she deserved. You got bit by the snake that you was training to bite me. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. And having a nasty little attitude and a nasty spirit will never help you out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.